In August 2014, social media was bombarded with photos of a UFO hovering over Houston, Texas. Taken from different spots around the area, the UFO seemingly consisted of several lights forming a ring. At the center, you can make out a single orb, as if the other circular lights are revolving around it. The UFO almost shares a resemblance to Saturn, although some experts have theorized there's nothing otherworldly about it. Fletcher Gray of the Mutual UFO Network deduced it likely stemmed from nearby highway lights. It's also worth noting that Houston endured a thunder and lightning storm that night, which may have contributed.
No way, that's real. That has to be real. They came up with the most pathetic excuses. Like, if one of those were real, like, if one of those excuses was actually practical, like, oh, you know, it could just be highway lights all the way up in the sky, Carl? Really, all the way up in the sky, those are highway lights? Also, yes, there was a thunderstorm, but when the lightning struck, you saw that that little object wasn't affected. That one is definitely a UFO. Has to be. Absolutely has to be. Or a government airplane they're experimenting on, they just didn't tell anyone. They could fly anything and be like, oh no, kind of looks like a flying Ferris wheel, just kind of in the sky. Or one of those like soccer lights, you know, like the soccer stadiums, like when you used to play as a kid. Those like big round lights that illuminate the field. That's what that looks like.
In 2007, a Turkish night guard named Yalçın Yalman, working in Istanbul's holiday village, noticed strange activity in the sky and started filming. He kept his eyes on the skies throughout the next few years, recording a treasure trove of UFO footage.
Whoa, okay.
The UFO that repeatedly pops up in these videos certainly looks like a spacecraft, even calling to mind the ones from War of the Worlds. Upon further inspection, some claim that you can spot two alien heads peeping out of what appears to be a window or a door. Our eyes may be deceiving us, but ufologist Nick Pope described Yalman's findings as, quote, a turning point for Turkish UFO studies, adding, quote, the authorities can no longer turn a blind eye to this phenomenon.
That's encouraging, man. If you've been spending your entire life looking at UFOs, then suddenly the authorities are like, wait a minute. You know what, dude? You've probably been right this entire time. It was like the first one I kind of went, that's a sun, or that's a star of some kind, or a planet maybe. But then the second one I was like, oh no, that looks like the Avengers ship. Question though, you know how in the Avengers universe there's like just a bunch of amazing, crazy, awesome ships that they fly, and you're like, when did they make those? I mean, obviously comic book universe. You guys can answer this for me because I'm not sucked into that world as much as I want to be, but what if there are people trying to be superheroes and they just happen to have really cool spaceships? Ooh,
a mysterious object captured on tape flying very close to the SpaceX Crew Dragon with 4 astronauts on board.
Is it the TARDIS?
Mission and liftoff.
Take a look at this video. Just 12 minutes after the astronauts left planet Earth Friday morning, part of the Falcon 9 rocket separates from the Dragon. That's when some kind of object flies between the two. Take a closer look in slow motion. But what exactly was that object seen early in the flight? Sources telling us it appears to be ice from the liquid oxygen in that rocket. But this morning, no official confirmation on what it was.
I think we both know what that was. That was the TARDIS. For sure, it was a rectangular cube object spinning like it does right in the movie, in the shows and the movie. Maybe. I don't know. It'd be cool if it was. I mean, it would have to be pretty small. Mind you, the rocket's huge, so the Doctor's real. Hey everyone, it's Rachel Fisher, back again with Top 10 Central Dark, and I'm excited because you all know how much I believe in aliens / want them to really exist, because how cool would that be? Also terrifying, I understand. Especially if they're like Demogorgon-esque aliens or Day After Tomorrow aliens. I'm thinking like Doctor Who aliens would be excellent, because take me away in your TARDIS. Just take me away. You know? I would 100% go. I'd be like, yeah, let's go. Or Paul, you know? Love that. Love that movie. Already I'm on board for one of them, so. I'm skeptical though. I remain skeptical, okay? I'm not someone who can be hoodwinked. I will put it through a test. How secure my test is, don't know, but here we go.
Now it is darkened outside. Temperatures are sitting at 61 in Buffalo. We have a northerly wind at 7. Good sleeping weather tonight, folks. What was that? Did anybody see that thing go past? Did we just see a shooting star on Skywatch? That was awesome. I'll flip that to the web. If you saw it too, It was coming, it was weird. It was coming west to east, or it was the fastest moving jet going to the airport ever. 61, start the UFO sightings now. Go ahead and put them on Facebook. I will flip that in the next 20 minutes just to show.
Okay, so that's weird because it looks like it's coming from the, like, within town, like it's just bursting up through the ground. It's weird that it curves because usually shooting stars just in one kind of straight line in one direction. At first I thought it looked like it was coming from town, but it actually looks like it was coming from the horizon, I think. But the way it kind of swirls at the end makes me think that maybe it's some kind of firework actually, but it doesn't burst at the end, so that one's cool. I like the breath that caught in my stomach for that one. That was neat.
New report from ufology research says sightings of unidentified flying objects across Canada, including things like levitating discs, erratic spaceships, and floating triangles, increased 46% in 2020 over 2019 levels. There were 1,243 recorded sightings last year, a record for Canada, 30% of the sightings taking place right here in Ontario. And before you go and call all these people crackpots, Erica, we've talked about the fact that the U.S. government has admitted that its military pilots have recorded, things they can't explain, craft moving, defying the laws of physics.
That one really twisted my gut. And it's like when actual news channels report on it. I mean, we all know the news isn't always 100% reliable, but I'm already of the opinion, especially this year, anything can happen. I mean, I thought pandemics were just, I don't know, things from books, but nope, they're real and they happened. It happened this year, so what else could happen?
Hebei incident. Set against the backdrop of Tianjin, Hebei province, China, this photo can be traced back to at least 1942, although some argue it was actually snapped in 1911. Either way, Japanese student Masujiro Kiru stumbled upon it in his father's photo album during World War II. The photo was reportedly taken by an American serviceman, with several onlookers gazing up at the flying saucer-like object above. Of course, many have argued that it was a bird, a streetlight, or even a hat. We guess you could say it's all up in the air.
This is all reminding me of that Netflix show, The Nevers. I'm watching it right now. Imagine that just happening. It just rains down talent. Wouldn't that be nice? I could use some of it. This is like one of those typical classic UFO pictures that just satisfies my soul, It's just so old you want to believe it. It was before the times of deepfake and Photoshop. Though they did technically, when you use film, there were ways to cut images together so it looked like things were inserted into the frame. So I know that they had their own kind, but that guy at the corner bottom right, he's like, oh, look guys. So I also love how like over time, saucers either look like an egg with like a circle around it or a slice of pizza, or like now they look like slices of pizza. Before they look like an egg with like a circle around it. Aliens can evolve too.
In late November 1989, Belgium started receiving numerous reports of a UFO. Various people described the UFO as a giant triangle with a flat surface and lights below, and the reports kept coming well into early 1990, reaching a crescendo in late March of that year. When a UFO was picked up on radar one night, 2 Air Force pilots investigated, coming up empty-handed. While they didn't see anything, 143 other individuals supposedly did. For over 20 years, ufological group SOBEP claimed the photo was authentic.
I wonder why they're always triangles. I know that's a very secure, like structurally secure object, but why triangles? Is it because we love pizza? I don't know. If that many people see it, it's kind of hard to be like, no guys, you're all 134 of you are crazy. I don't have many thoughts on this one because it's just hearsay. It could just be an urban legend. How would I know? I need video. I need the proof. I need the awesome recordings of people going, I saw this thing in the sky and it was like, wow, I need that. Strengthens the argument. I guess that's one of Rachel's top 10 ways to prove it's actually a UFO.
This video was taken by Misitina Sape at 8:26 Tuesday night near Haleakala Avenue in Nanakuli. Not long after, a woman named Mariah spotted the same thing passing over Princess Kahanu Estates.
I don't know, I looked up. And then I was like, oh, I didn't call my husband in because it was all in the garage. I was like, hey, so look up there. See what I see. They're all said, yeah.
The 38-year-old says she's never really been a believer in UFOs, but the bright blue object had them so intrigued they jumped in the car and started following it.
I don't know what it was. Different one.
I don't know what it was. That's great. I don't know. I feel like that was probably like a drone or something. You know, like somebody just... But there's so many different things. Like somebody could have easily attached a light to that and just like been like, oh guys, look, it's a UFO. It's not. It's not. I don't know, but it could be. We all know from watching this channel that I do believe in aliens because, I don't know, it just kind of seems impossible that they don't exist. I don't know whether they're here yet.
Something he simply couldn't explain.
Your eye goes to it right away. It was like an orange sparkler coming down. The sparks went away, and it was just a globe of orange light that started just doing crazy moves.
Moves he can't imagine any earthly object duplicating.
It's unidentified, that's for sure.
And just one of thousands of unexplained objects sighted in the skies over our province.
Look at it, it's behind the tree. What is that?
Wow.
It seems Manitoba is a hotbed of UFO
What's
activity,
that?
with thousands of sightings stretching back to the earliest days of our province's existence.
Manitoba. That's where I'm gonna go. That's where I'm moving to. Sorry guys. I have to. It's important for me. Okay? Not that I want to be abducted. That'd be kind of scary. That either looks like, that first one though, either looks like a massive boomerang just through the sky, or just a bird who's, I don't know, got launched and is just trying to figure out how to fly, like a massive bird. That would have to be a pretty big bird. At least all of these are UFOs. Like, they're unidentified flying objects. They're not necessarily all aliens, but we don't know what they are. So that could be anything.
Already online, some skeptics say the images are caused by cameras trying to focus, but some of the objects go beyond just flying in the sky. One shows a spherical object dipping into the ocean, similar to an incident in Puerto Rico, where an object was tracked buzzing an airport, then flying into the water, popping back out before appearing to split into two and disappearing. Over the last several weeks, some of the nation's top former intelligence officials have been raising eyebrows.
Look at that thing. It's rotating.
What on earth? What not on earth is the question. It's so weird. And very small too. That's tiny. It could be like a little drone as well. I mean, we don't know half the things that the government is up to. Conspiracy theories. But this, I mean, every time, especially this channel, I feel like my beliefs are being affirmed. They're definitely there. We're here. They're here. They're among us. We could be best friends with one of them. You know, I could be an alien. You guys don't even know. Or maybe you do know. Well, now the suspicion's there, so I guess it's up to you to decide. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go outside and see if you spot anything interesting. My name is Rachel Fisher, and until next time, take care, you guys. My name is Rachel Fisher, and until then, oh, delete that. Okay, let's do this. Starting at number 10. Anything. Maybe, oh wait, hold on. So the last video, maybe that's why the doctor is here, because there's a inflation of UFO sightings. And he's just been like solving them, no problem. He's the best, you know? Great. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Boo, doo, 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 doo. Yeah, that's the one, guys.